Well, that didn't go according to plan, did it? Villa have a huge uphill task to overcome this deficit in the second leg in Greece. This is your instant match reaction to Aston Villa 2, Olympiacos 4. Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with your instant match reaction to Aston Villa 2, Olympiacos 4. And yeah, it did not go to plan. Historic night for Villa, first semi-final in Europe since 1982. We had huge excitement, and yeah, turned into a bit of a chaotic night. And we did not come out on top. We'll go through the game and talk a few performances. And yeah, it was a very eventful game. But like I say, Villa did not come out on top. Make sure you hit that like button before we go anywhere, and do hit that subscribe button. We are moving and motoring on towards 4,000 subscribers. Less than 250 of you needed now to hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. So please do like, please do subscribe, and get your comments in below on what was a very erratic performance today. Starting lineup: Robin Olsen in goal. Obviously, we knew that from the off. Cash, Concert, Clement Longley instead of Pau Torres at the back. Luca Dean left back, and then midfield two of McGinn and Louise, with Bailey and Rogers and Diaby in front. Obviously, Bailey operating from that right hand side. Diaby just behind Ollie Watkins up top. And to be honest, for the first 10-15 minutes, we started off quite well. Olympiacos were passing the ball across the back, but when we kind of got the ball, we looked quite threatening. Rogers was getting the ball in some nice areas. Diaby was looking quite busy, and Morgan Rogers had a fantastic effort, cutting in from the left on his right foot, bends it into the bottom corner, but the keeper parries it. For a corner. We then do score. But the goal is ruled out for a foul by Clement Longley. I think it was Bailey who put the header in. Louise puts the ball over. I think it might have been from that resulting corner. Louise then puts the ball back across. Conter keeps it alive, but Clement Longley was judged to have fouled their defender as Leon Bailey heads it in. And yeah, we don't go 1-0 up. After that, though, that was to be our downfall. And on 16 minutes, Morgan Rogers is quite unlucky. He wins the ball, but it bounces through to Chiquinho, I think, who puts a lovely little Cruyff pass through to Ayoub El-Kabi, who finishes quite well against Robin Olsen. The linesman puts his flag up and judges it to be offside, but VAR rules that Matty Cash is playing him onside, and it's 1-0 to Olympiacos. And Villa kind of lose their heads a little bit after that. Don't really have too much in terms of possession, and it's Olympiacos again who score to make it 2-0 on 29 minutes. This time, a nice move. Resulting in Daniel Podence picking the ball up midway inside his own half, and then it kind of moves towards the edge of the penalty box. Matty Cash doesn't go and close him down. He plays a lovely little pass with the outside of his foot, and into El-Kabi again, who heads it down. Olsen tracks him, and rather than make himself big, he goes down to ground and leaves a massive gap under his body, and El-Kabi puts it in the net. And Aston Villa, from being, a goal getting disallowed, find themselves 2-0 down after half an hour. And yeah, absolutely all at sea and seem to be quite panicky. We then wrestle ourselves back into the game and start to have some more better moments, one or two threatening moments, one or two chances, generally created by Leon Bailey, who was excellent. all game and was a real threat. McGinn starts to get the ball into some better areas. Musa Diaby starts getting the ball into better areas, and Matty Cash actually driving down that right hand side, and that's where the goal that we managed to score in 41 minutes comes from. Ball played to Conte, who plays it out to Matty Cash. No one's marking him. He drives forward with the ball, plays it into Musa Diaby, who plays a lovely little pass down in diagonal pass for Ollie Watkins running on, and he finishes really nice low shot into the bottom corner, and it's 2-1. And then we really, really do threaten to equalise before the break. Musa Diaby having an opportunity to shoot with his weaker right foot, chooses to play it across to Leon Bailey, and it just gets blocked. And we go in at halftime 2-1, but the momentum is with us, and it really was with us into that second half. Olympiacos make a change. Ortega comes off for Richards. He's tasked with marking Leon Bailey, and down that right hand side, we absolutely dominate them. Diaby, Bailey, and Matty Cash all linking up really well, and it's on the 52nd minute that Leon Bailey, again, fantastic for Villa tonight, plays the ball down the right hand channel again. Musa Diaby this time takes the shot with his weaker right foot, doesn't even look at the goalkeeper. Keeper thinks he's going to play it across, but he doesn't. He gets beaten at his near post, and it's 2-2 on the 52nd minute. Villa are absolutely bouncing at this moment. At this point, the whole 10 is rocking. Villa Park's absolutely rocking. Looks like we're going to take the game and absolutely dominate from there. And on the break, Olympiacos get a corner. Longley defends it really well, actually, and he does touch it though, and for some reason he lets it go out for a corner. From the resulting corner kick, I don't know why this happens. The Olympiacos defender has a header. Looks like it's Luis that's blocked it, but he inexplicably puts his arm right up to his face, and it hits his elbow, and he's trying to say that he didn't handball it. It's a blatant handball. um, Presents El Khabi with the penalty, sends Olsen the wrong way, and it's 3-2 from being in that position. And really, that did knock the stuffing out of Villa at that point. You know, we really had the momentum, and that decision from Louise to do that was just absolutely totally inexplicable. Knocks the stuffing out of us, and we can't seem to get that momentum back. And on 67 minutes, Santiago Heze balls being passed around the edge of the box. He has a bit of space. No one closes him down. He hits the shot. It deflects off the back of Konsa. Olsen's going diving one way. He tries to adjust his body. He does actually adjust his body, but he palms it into the net. It's a debate whether he should do better with it, but it's 4-2 now to Olympiacos, and a huge, huge uphill task for Aston Villa. Now, the only benefit was that it was on the 67th minute, and we were creating a lot of chances. Both teams looked very, very shaky through that midfield, and kind of giving their defence a lot to do. And we weren't quite as good in those last-ditch moments, whereas Olympiacos seemed to get the last challenge in, or a block or something in, or we didn't quite make the right decision. But 74th minute, John Duran, one of the Chaos brothers, comes on for Morgan Rogers, and he wins us a penalty in the 84th minute. I don't know whether it was given for handball or whether it was given for a trip on Duran, but Louise steps up to take the penalty. Now, there's a lot of pushing and shoving on the edge of the box. Olympiacos tried everything they can to put him off, and it worked. Luis maybe had it in his mind to the penalty that he gave away. He really wants to make amends for it, but his run up didn't look quite right. He tries to do the relaxed run up, and tries to outwit the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper stands firm. But it doesn't really matter because Luis, it hits the outside of the post and goes wide. He doesn't even get it on target, and it capped off an absolute real nightmare of a night for Douglas Luiz. He didn't play well at all. Unai Emery going crazy at him midway through the first half because he wasn't moving the ball quickly enough. He wasn't closing down quickly enough, and he gives away a penalty and misses a penalty that ultimately could have really put Villa back in the tie at 4-3. Now we go in there 4-2 down. It's a real difficult task, for two not great teams. I mean, Olympiacos weren't any great shakes tonight. They had a decent setup. They had a decent team team ethic, but in terms of their actual players, we should have been able to beat them. I have to say that. But fair play to them. They defended well at the right times. But we should have scored more goals today. And to concede 4 goals at home is just criminal, absolutely criminal. And the mistakes that we made. I know we talk about the goalkeeper, Robin Olsen. He gets a 4.8 rating on FOTMob, and he's ultimately he tries his best for Villa, and we do support him, but ultimately he's just not good enough for the level that we're at, and he's just too much of a downgrade to from Emi Martinez. And I've said it before. I said it on the watch along that we did. You go from the level of Emi Martinez and you go to Robin Olsen, and it doesn't necessarily matter how many saves he makes. He made a couple of decent saves tonight, but he just doesn't instill any confidence in his defence. And he also then increases the confidence of the team that he's playing against, and that's the problem. It's not the saves that he could make, it's not the catches, it's not necessarily the distribution. It's the confidence that he instills in the defence in front of him, and it can't be escaped that every time he plays, barring 1 or 2 games, we have conceded numerous goals in those games, and you can't expect to win any football match when you concede 4 goals, especially at home. Now the only benefit is we've got a second leg with 2 goals down. If we get an early goal in that game next week, can we get ourselves back in the tie? Will Emi Martinez be back? Will Yuri Tielemans be back? Because he is massive for us in that midfield. Luis, he's not playing well at the moment. He's had a fantastic season, but he isn't playing well at the moment. He's got too much pressure on him. He's too slow at the minute. 1 or 2% down with Douglas Luiz in that midfield area, particularly in that more defensive position, and he really shows. Leon Bailey had a fantastic game, but how long can he keep dragging us through? Luca Dean was almost running on empty right at the end of that game. We've had a fantastic season, and that's what makes it all that more, just that little bit more disappointing. I guess one of the silver linings is Chelsea have beaten Tottenham 2-0 tonight. So we're 7 points clear in 4th position with them only with a game in hand. And if we can beat Brighton on Sunday and they lose against Liverpool away from home, that is pretty much done for 4th position. I think it might even be done. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the chat. How does Emery approach this game on Sunday, knowing that have we got 4th spot? Do we rest players on Sunday to then go for it against Olympiacos next week? We know that they've lost heavily at home in the past. We know that they concede goals. Or does he go for it on Sunday and secure that 4th spot? But yeah, tonight, disappointing result. There was too many disappointing performances. Not going forwards, I thought Diaby looked sharp. I thought Rodgers looked really sharp. I thought once Watkins got in the game, he played well and he put himself about. I thought Bailey was fantastic. I thought Cash was very good going forward particularly in that second half. I didn't think Longley had a great game. 1 or 2 decent passes, but again, him and Konsa doesn't quite fit. Konsa was quite shaky. I didn't think he had his greatest game tonight. And as I say, the confidence that Robin Olsen gives to the defence isn't great at all. And I didn't think McGinn or Louise were particularly good in that midfield. They didn't have a good game at all. They were okay in flashes. They were trying hard, but their passing was off. The decision making wasn't always there. So, in a lot of ways, it was an erratic game and an erratic performance. And it wouldn't be something that Unai Emery would have liked to have watched. I can guarantee that. And even Unai Emery was asking for divine intervention throughout the game. I just don't know what he thought he could do. Part of that is having the options off the bench, and we didn't necessarily have too many options off the bench. So hopefully next week get a few players back fit, and we can maybe give it a go. But sadly, I think the tie is done. But who knows? If we get an early goal, maybe we can get back into it. That's it for me. Thank you, everyone, for watching the channel. Thank you for watching the watch along. It was good fun despite the result. Thank you for watching this instant match reaction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on the performance, on what it means for next week, on 4th position. And do hit the like button, do hit the subscribe button. We'll be back with a Brighton preview. The games are coming thick and fast. As always, though, remember, we all follow the Villa.